Going backwards. And this was at 9:40 a.m. Now, this is a flare because it's in front of the clouds. Okay, so that's the difference. This is a prime example. So backing up, this is behind the clouds. Going forward, what we see that is similar looking is this in front of the clouds. It's a prime example right in one cam. Here we are at Hyder looking to the southeast, further corroborating this object that I was showing you in the earlier clip. Right here. Wallingford, Vermont. And it was Saturday. It started out as a beautiful day. And then this is what the sky ended up looking like. And I was just like, oh my God. So I grabbed my camera and started shooting it. And the funny thing is that after I turned the camera off, there was a guy standing there, and I said, you know, I just don't remember the jet trails just like staying up there in the sky like that. And, you know, he was just like, yeah, I don't know, yeah, whatever, you know, like no big deal. I mean, it was just like, how can people be so oblivious to that? I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, it's just unfathomable. And here's a video of Springfield, Vermont. This was a little while ago. And this was just so intense at sunset. And obviously a very chemmed over sky. Wherever the sun sets, it's always chemmed over. I mean, I have not seen the sun go down like we used to see it a long time ago, when you could actually just watch it get smaller and smaller and smaller and then disappear. We don't see that anymore. Always chem clouds right there. And then for any of you that have forgotten what a contrail looks like, this is what a normal contrail used to look like, and still does when they're not spraying the skies. Well, that's it. It was a sad day for the Nibiru community. Pretty pathetic in my opinion. Keep the faith, everyone. I really don't know what to say about all that other than just unacceptable on all different levels. At any rate, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Right back here. And then we've got this lens flare, which is quite interesting as well. And then we have the large object here. And this picture here with the cloud in front of it, what I did was to put it in here and play with the contrast. And there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the cloud is in front of the object. If it was the other way around, it would, this would be pink. So this object is definitely there. It was definitely not a lens flare. Question is, what is it? What is that object? Now, if we're needing a sun simulator, is it to obscure things like this? Or is our sun perhaps so weak that this is actually our sun? Is that possible? Let me know what you think about that. I would say it's probably about the same size as you would expect to see the sun. And I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. Now, this is a flare because it's in front of the clouds.
Yeah, buddy. Check that out. As always, this is Nibiru Ninja, aka Donnie D, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Solar collectors were far out in outer space, much further out than our Earth. The moment this energy has been blocked from supplying its source energy, we have our intruder here, so they turn on the sun simulator to keep light shining on the sky. But there's a problem. Once this thing gets really close, these beams get blocked. They no longer supply light. Do we have any evidence of this? Yes. Let's watch. In my previous video I had made with a high-speed moon traveling at the Earth. So here we see the high-speed shadowy moons moving at us, and then right after that we get a giant shadowy object trailing in behind it. So then here we get this object, and then after it comes in, I left this video, please go back and watch the whole uninterrupted version of it, but I'm speeding this thing up, and we can see that this thing comes in, it orbits around in a boomerang-like fashion because the system is spiraling at us, and then basically just vanishes. And then in this video, I had a YouTube subscriber show a time-lapse video of this object passing in front of the sun. Let's watch that again. See that shadow? A time-lapse video. I hope to catch that one day. Next time your skies look like that, go get a time-lapse video and look at that. This object here, I believe, is breaking these microwave beams that supply the energy of this thing. So the problem, I believe, has been solved. Let's look again. This sun simulator, every time this beam is break, we don't have the sun simulator. It is the source of energy. If that source of energy is blocked, then this thing dims out and flashes out. It seems to match the pattern and the speed of the sun. So if I am right, this thing's getting close enough with its moons now breaking the beams of the sun simulator. So every time this thing goes out, we lose the sun. And that's what that beam is. That's a laser beam. But I believe this laser beam gets its energy from the remote solar collectors. 2 of them, by the way. That's
So this is the sunrise. And, well, first of all, we've got an object right back here. And then we've got this lens flare, which is quite interesting as well. And then we have the large object here. And this picture here with the cloud in front of it, what I did was to put it in here and play with the contrast. And there is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the cloud is in front of the object. If it was the other way around, it would, this would be pink. So this object is definitely there. It is definitely not a lens flare. The question is, what is it? What is that object? Now, if we're needing a sun simulator, is it to obscure things like this? Or is our sun let me know what you think about that. I would say it's probably about the same size as you would expect to see the sun. And I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I just like to get your opinions. Not you shiltards, but normal people. Thank you. Sika South in Alaska. Obviously that object is right there. It's behind the chemtrails.
That's great, because if one beam gets broken, you have a backup beam from another source. But if they both break, the thing must be getting pretty close. That's my theory on that. And there, yeah, maybe it's an alien symbology. Let's look at this microwave energy being directed at the Earth. Now look at that. Dry twigs and brush were not affected, right? But the tree burns from the inside out. Microwave energy. Let me keep playing this video. Here we go. Look at those ashes, people. Yeah, I know this isn't California fire. That's what's actually scary about it. They've been test firing. I think they missed their mark, or they're trying to, they could get the target, or they're just messing with this guy. See what this thing can do to a tree. That's exactly what microwave energy would do. Come on now. What would ever do that, people? Yeah. Energy from space. Is that what they're going to do with this space-based weapon? Is this what they're going to do with us energy? Direct it all into the earth and take us out if they don't like us? Yeah. Energy beamed from collectors from around the sun, impulsed energy onto a single point, microwave energy, convert it into a laser energy, and then fire that burst of energy wherever they want onto mirrors, onto their final target. Wow. Yeah, I like that scene. Wasn't that crazy, people? Yeah. So you still want to think it's a real sun? Look at this sun. Look at this hexagonal sun. And look, we can almost make out the laser beams. And I'd like to show you some NASA photos here. What I believe to be laser mounts on the ISS. Now, this is left out on any photos I've ever seen from the International Space Station. What the heck is that? I'll tell you, those are lasers. Very high powered. In fact, it looks